You want to know how you can get instantly productive? In this video here, I want to share how you can quickly change your habits so that way you can start moving towards creating the best reality you want to experience for yourself. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because there's a lot of people that go about their life doing things that are meaningless and spending a lot of time doing so. And you might resonate with some of this because I used to live this way. As a matter of fact, I used to waste so much of my time every single day doing things that were meaningless. So, meaning that I would go about my days. I would wake up at the same time. I would get ready in the same amount of time, go to work, do my job, and then I would look for any opportunities during the day to try to check out, basically, and escape reality. And so I would find the opportunities to get to my phone so I could just kind of scroll through Facebook and do so for sometimes 10, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I used to look forward to my morning shit so that I can go and sit there and play video games on my phone or scroll through Facebook and just escape reality for a little bit. And then what I would do is I would go about my day trying to just survive, just survive through my day and trying to get through it as fast as I can, see it as a means to an end so that I can go back home, do a quick dinner, freaking down that dinner so fast that I could just can't even freaking taste it, and then sit on the couch and then like binge watch TV for the rest of the night. I would do that every single day. And if it wasn't TV, I was playing video games, and I would just do it because it would be an escape. It was an escape from my reality. I didn't want to face reality. I didn't want to face my life. I didn't want to face anything. And so I would spend it just doing things that were meaningless and that didn't bring me anywhere closer to creating the reality that I want to experience. And it came to a point where there were days where I would wake up and I'd be like, oh shit, man, like this sucks. I was just like dreadful about my life. I was dreadful about my work. I was dreadful about what I was doing. I was really bored with it. I was feeling stuck in it, and I felt like I was doomed for it. I felt like this was going to be the way of my life for the rest of my life. And until the point where I was just like, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I started to look at that seriously. And the reason why I'm sharing this message here is because I want to share with you a perspective that helped me shift that and got myself in a state of productivity instantly, basically. And it was a progress, however, but I want to share it so that way it can be more instant for you so that you don't waste the time that I did when I first started to shift things. So what I started doing is that I started to look at my life. And the first thing that I reflected on was where my life was. And I was realizing, okay, I was in a job that I wasn't happy with. I wasn't thrilled about. I felt like I wasn't thriving. I wasn't growing. I felt also like every day was a struggle. Like I was dealing with stress and anxiety because I was just always worried about whether or not I was meeting people's expectations. And it wasn't seeing the end of it as well too. Like I was just seeing like that my life and career was going to be miserable for the rest of my life. Like I thought that it was just going to be the way of my life. And I would see other people as well too in my surroundings and my family sometimes as well too. We would talk about it, and we talk about like all of the miserable parts of work, like the time, the commute, the rat race, the things that we need to do that just freaking sucks, and it's just like, oh man, like I just realized that it wasn't where I wanted to be. And so that's the first thing I would suggest is look at your life and see where you're at and how you're feeling about it, and then spend some time actually looking at what is the life that you want to create, and what is the reality that you want to experience. And maybe it's more time freedom, maybe it's more financial freedom, maybe it's more adventure, maybe it's to have more flexibility to be able to spend more time with your family, maybe it's to have more time to be able to do more of the things that you're passionate about. Maybe you have like certain passions that you normally do on weekends, but because of your current situation, you just don't have the time to do it, and you want to have more time to be able to experience that. Or maybe you want to be in a position where you're thriving, and you're having you're causing a bigger impact in the world, and other than just to fill in a job description in a big corporate company or corporate system. You want to have more meaning into your work and contribute in a meaningful way. And maybe you want it all. Maybe you want all of it. And that's the kind of life that I'm creating for myself. I want it all. I want it all. I don't want to just have bits and pieces of it. I want it all, and I don't want to get to a point where I just kind of settle for what I have. I seriously want it all. So maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want it all. And then the final point that I'm going to say is, once you understand where you're at, how you feel where you're at right now, what you want to create and what you want to experience for yourself, then what you want to do is you want to look at how you're spending your time every single day, and start looking for those times where you spend hours doing things that are meaningless, meaning that they're not things that are allowing you to get closer to creating that reality for yourself. So look at the times that you spend on your phone doing meaningless things, like maybe scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, or just looking at your emails. And look, there's a place for that. I get that, but there's just too many people that spends hours doing that, and just kind of zone in and just completely disconnect from the world outside of them, and then they're just zoned in with their phones, and then there's just nothing else around them. And so that's one of the things that I want to suggest is look at how much you're spending your time on your phone, and be disciplined about it, and start looking at ways to let that go, disconnect from that, and use that same amount of time to be productive, to do something that's going to be productive for you. And maybe it's to learn, maybe it's to read a book, maybe it's to listen to an audiobook, maybe it's to listen to a podcast, maybe it's to watch an inspirational video like this one, maybe it's to learn a new skill or something like that, right? So that's a big one, is how much you're spending your time on your phone. Look at how much you're spending your time, at home watching TV or playing video games, or doing things that are not productive, that are just kind of fillers, that they're just kind of like escape routes to your reality. And then see what you can do to start shifting that, and use that same amount of time to start working towards a goal for yourself. Start progressing towards it. Maybe invest in yourself, invest in your education, invest in learning some new skills, so that allow you to create that new lifestyle for yourself, that new reality for yourself, that will get you one step closer to creating that and experiencing that. That's what I would suggest right now to look at. So again, just to walk you through it, look at where you're at right now. Look at also and inspire and visualize what is it that you want to experience, and what is it that you really want to experience. Not what seems to be cool to the outside world, or what you see on Facebook and Instagram that seems to be so amazing, unless it's what you really, really want. So ask yourself, do I really want this, or am I just wanting this because it looks cool for everybody else? So ask yourself those questions when you're trying to visualize that outcome. And then finally, look at how much you're spending your time during your day, and then what can you do to start shifting and then implementing some new ways to be productive, right? And again, just some key points to look at is how you use your phone, what you do when you're driving, like if you're listening to the radio or music, or if you're listening to a podcast or audiobook, that could be another way to be productive when you're driving. How much you're spending your time during your breaks at work, or how much you're spending your time as well too at home, and on weekends, right? So look at how you're spending your time, and what can you do to be more productive, and start using that time to be more useful for yourself. That will bring you one step closer to creating that new reality for yourself. So thank you for watching. Start doing that right now. Spend some time doing so, and then start taking action towards that. All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.